A roll call, please.
Dr. Cordellino? Here. Mrs. Fano?
Here.
Dr. Modrak?
Here.
Mr. Palma?
Here.
Mr. Petrosino?
Here.
Mr. Rappaport?
Here.
Mrs. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Zuckerman?
Here.
Mr. Daughtry?
Here.
Ms. Ammer? Mr. Blumenthal?
We can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The open public meeting notice.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education provided a public notice of this meeting, which included the time, date, and location that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the district website, and advertised in the Daily Record and the Montville Tap Into, the board's official newspapers, on March 26, 2026.
Thank you. Let's hear from our student reps.
For the past, on May 18th, MTHS hosted the Small Ensemble Spring Concert. On May 19th, MTHS hosted the Spring Concert. NJSLA testing took place on May 18th to the 20th. On May 19th and 20th, there were delayed openings, and all grades not participating in tested reported school by 10:15 a.m. Student council elections took place on May 20th to the 22nd. Senior breakfast, student athlete recognition day for Division III athletes, and an early dismissal all took place on May 22nd. School was closed on May 26th. On May 27th, MTHS hosted pre-prom assembly and science night for science research in Resmal. Prom took place on May 28th. Underclassmen's awards took place on May 29th. On June 2nd, the VAL and SAL dinner and drama club banquet took place. On June 3rd, students and parents received next year's class schedules pending staffing and building adjustments. Senior awards also took place that evening. On June 4th, MTHS hosted the Chartwell's Barbecue, Art Show, Tri-M Recital, Senior Sunset took place on June 8th.
For our spring sports recap, boys golf ended their season 14-5 as Group 2 state champions. Montville softball ended their season 18-7 with a loss in the sectional semifinals. Boys lacrosse was 14-6 as their season ended in group quarterfinal loss. Girls lacrosse ended their season 9-8 with a loss in the group quarterfinals. Boys tennis ended their season 7-12. Girls golf ended their season 7-2. And baseball ended their season 6-19 with a win on senior night. Girls flag football ended their season 8-4. And for track and field, Anthony Agnoli became a state champion in discus with a throw of 186-6. He also took second place in the state shot put with a throw of 61 to 7.25. In future times at MTHS, on June 10th from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., seniors will participate in senior picnic at the rec fields. Beginning June 11th, continuing through June 17th, MTHS will be taking final exams. During this period, the high school will operate on a half-day schedule. On June 17th, from 7 to 9:30, MTHS will hold its graduation ceremony as we celebrate our accomplished class of 2026. Our next Board of Ed meeting is scheduled for July 21st. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Superintendent?
Yeah, tonight is a great night. You can see a packed house. We have so many wonderful things to celebrate tonight. And we're going to start with the boys bowling team. Mr. Sanford, where are you? Come on up. Or are you, right? You want to do bowling first or you want to do golf? All right, bowling. There it is.
Alphabetical.
Can members of the bowling team who are here tonight come on up? All right, we've got a couple of them.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can go either right after they do it, yeah.
All right. The Montville Township High School bowling team had an outstanding season, finishing with an impressive 21-5 record
There you go. So we can see you. There you go.
and establishing themselves as one of the top teams in New Jersey. The Mustangs captured the Northwest Jersey Athletic Conference Eastern Division Championship and followed that accomplishment by winning the North 2 Group 2 State Sectional Championship. Their success throughout the season earned them a final ranking of number 15 in the state of New Jersey. A special congratulations goes out to Jake Schneider for his exceptional individual season. Jake was named NJAC Bowler of the Year and earned Group 2 First Team All-State honors. Congratulations to all of our bowlers and coaching staff for a remarkable season and for representing Montville Township High School with pride and excellence.
John, guys, stay up there. We have a resolution. Mr. Petrosino.
All right. Whereas the Montville Township Board of Education is committed to recognizing outstanding achievements of its students, and whereas the bowling team of Montville High School has demonstrated exceptional skill, dedication, and sportsmanship throughout the 2025-2026 season, and whereas the team achieved the distinction of being named Northwest Jersey Athletic Conference NJAC Eastern Division Champions, and whereas the team further distinguished itself as North 2 Group 2 State Sectional Champions, and whereas the team concluded its season with an impressive ranking of number 15th in the entire state of New Jersey, and whereas since 2013 the team received numerous NJAC County Sectional and Group Championships. Whereas the accomplishments of the bowling team and its athletes reflect positively on the students, coaching staff, school, and the Montville Township community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Montville Township Board of Education of Montville, New Jersey hereby recognizes and commends the Montville Township High School bowling team for their outstanding achievements and contributions to the school community, and be it further resolved that the board extends its sincere congratulations to all team members, coaches, and supporters of their dedication, hard work, and commitment to excellence.
Does one of them want to say quick comments about the season? Just
All the way up close to your mouth.
All right. This was my final season for the bowling team. Freshman year, I was a JV. It was a decent year. My sophomore year, we won the I think it was Group 2 or 3. We won the groups, so that was an amazing year. We had a little setback junior year, so coming into this year, we really wanted to do good, and we did that by winning sectionals. So I'm very happy that we finally got to complete another sectional.
congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, go.
Now we'd like to call up members of the golf team, both the athletes as well as the coaches that are here tonight. If anyone doesn't notice, they're also on the golf team. Very talented student athletes.
Joe's afraid of the camera.
Come on up, everybody. Tonight we are proud to recognize an exceptional season by the Montville Township High School boys golf team. The Mustangs finished the year with an outstanding 14-5 overall record, establishing themselves as one of the premier programs in New Jersey. Throughout the season, this team demonstrated tremendous skill, consistency, and resilience, competing at a high level against some of the state's top competition. Their accomplishments were nothing short of remarkable. The team captured the NJAC National Division Championship and advanced all the way to the North 2 Group 2 Finals, earning the title of North 2 Group 2 runner-up. The highlight of the season, however, came when the Mustangs secured the NJSIAA Group 2 State Championship, bringing home a state title and cementing their place in school history. Individually, freshman sensation Charlie Kaufman delivered one of the most impressive seasons in the state. Charlie earned both the New Jersey Group 2 Individual Championship and the overall Group 2 Individual Championship, showcasing his talent and poise on some of New Jersey's biggest stages. As a result of their incredible season, the boys golf team finished ranked number 20 overall in the state of New Jersey, an impressive achievement and a testament to the dedication of every player and coach in the program. Congratulations to our boys golf team, Coach Sakala, and the entire program on a truly memorable season. Your hard work, commitment to excellence, and representation of Montville Township High School have made our school community incredibly proud.
Mike, do you want to read the?
Yes.
All right, so we have a resolution, and then we're going to ask the captain and maybe the coach to maybe say a word or two.
Whereas the Montville Township Board of Education recognizes outstanding achievement, dedication, and sportsmanship demonstrated by student athletes. And whereas the Montville Township High School boys golf team completed an exceptional 2025-2026 season with an overall record of 14-5, and whereas the team earned the title of NJAC National Division Champions, and whereas the team achieved the distinction of NJSIA North Jersey Group 2 runner-up, and whereas the team captured the NJSIAA Group 2 State Championship, marking the first state championship in boys golf in school history, and whereas the team finished ranked among the top 20 teams in the state of New Jersey according to NJ.com rankings, and whereas individual recognition was also earned by student athletes Charlie Kaufman and Henry White, who are both named First Team All-NJAC. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Montville Township Board of Education hereby extends its sincere congratulations and commendation to the Montville Township High School boys golf team, coaches, and players for their outstanding accomplishments during the 2025-2026 season, and be it further resolved that the Board of Education expresses its pride in the dedication, perseverance, and sportsmanship demonstrated by the team and wishes them continued success in all future endeavors.
Anybody want to say anything?
Thank you very much. This is a real honor for everyone involved. This is an interesting group of young men. They're not only outstanding golfers, but they are exceptional young men. And I think that showed in their perseverance, their work ethic. They came together as a team, and everybody contributed. I think that's the best thing I can say about this team is that they all contributed. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Quick picture.
Oh, he's great. Great coordinator of all kinds.
All right, Key Club. We have some representatives from the Key Club coming forward. Oh, you're gonna you. Ms. Swenson, you're gonna introduce everybody, or okay? Go ahead.
Hello, I'd like to introduce a very, very small part of our very large Key Club. And thank you all for your support. These students, and we took 30 students to our district convention. It was the first weekend of April, or last weekend of March. And they won a lot of awards. I first want to introduce Ashka, who is our very first Montville governor for the District of New Jersey for Key Club. and she was our lieutenant governor for our district last year. So she's going to talk a little bit about it. And then Anushka was our first place winner. We got first and second place in the essay contest. Anushka Koshi was our first place winner. And Manya was our first place winner for the oratory contest. And we also won first and second place there. So I'll let them take over.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'll reintroduce myself. My name is Ashka. I am the New Jersey District Governor of Key Club. So to contextualize that a little bit, it's kind of a fancy name for a state president. So Key Club is a service club at Montville Township High School, but it's really part of a much larger organization. We're one chapter out of 150 others in New Jersey, and we have about like 150 members or so in Montville that are a part of over 200,000 across the world. So Key Club is operational in 45 different countries, and those different countries are separated into smaller divisions based on membership. So New Jersey is one such division. We have 10,000 members. So as district governor, I've been elected as one of 33 other governors out of 230,000 members to lead our district. So essentially what that means is I preside over the 10,000 or like 10,200 members in New Jersey. I oversee a lot of administrative work for the organization in terms of just managing different clubs, managing our members, ensuring that we're consistent with diversity policies, growth initiatives, and just community service holistically. It is a tremendous honor, and I'm so thankful to my advisors, Mrs. Swenson and Ms. Shalongo, as well as the Montville Township Board of Education and just the Montville school system as a whole. It's really what's allowed me to go so far. And like Ms. Swenson said, I'm, I guess, the first person in Montville to be able to do so, so I'm so immensely thankful for the privilege. And at the request of my advisors and our members, I'm going to present this is like an honorary banner that we get, I guess, for being governor. This is usually an artist-led piece.
It's beautiful. And just turn to the crowd.
Hi there. Good evening. My name is Anushka Koshi, and I won first place in the impromptu essay competition at DCON. So I'll just read you my prompt, and then I'll read you my essay. So our prompt was, youth homelessness is often invisible, but the impact can be life-changing. Reflect on a time when you became aware of an issue that people overlook. How did this shape your perspective on service and your understanding of the role Key Club members play in addressing overlooked issues? And now I'll read my essay. I recently became aware of the immense amount of sexual violence that occurs on college campuses through a documentary shown in my health class at school. I was utterly shocked at how easily college administrators brushed off these assault cases, often blaming the victims for not being aware of their surroundings, inviting such an assault to happen to them, and creating unnecessary drama on campus. Victims of sexual assault on college campuses are blamed, belittled, and silenced when they come forth about their experiences, and this issue is incredibly overlooked in the eyes of college institutions and the general public. Learning about the heartbreaking stories of struggle, deteriorating self-worth and confidence, fear, and fragile resilience from each of these assault survivors who came forward to speak on what had happened to them, I came to realize the crucial role that service can play in such situations. The documentary explained how many survivors of college-related sexual violence organize campaigns and public hearings, recruiting volunteers and calling attention to the growing issue of assault cases on campuses. Their service rallied victims from different institutions across the nation to stand up and demand justice from the system which had abandoned them in a time where they needed guidance and support. I began to understand that community service doesn't only have a local impact, but it has the ability to spark incredible change on a nationwide scale, when taken seriously and done with the passion and desire to bring change to a system that fails to advocate for the people it is meant to protect. Service doesn't always require immense connections, funding, or even a large support system to begin with in order to in order to make lasting change. What it really needs is a voice. The impact of service work is powered by communication, where its purpose and benefits are displayed for the world to see, helping people understand its importance and seeing it as something worth fighting for. The Victims' Rights Advocacy Service discussed in the documentary began with 2 women, both of which were survivors of sexual violence and received no help from their college institutions, who were small in numbers and initial support, but carried their project with passion, purpose, and the desire to bring justice for others who had been wronged just as they were. Their movement rallied support from their own campus and soon spread across state lines as more and more survivors began to come forward and advocate for change. They started small, but grew into a nationwide movement that empowered survivors across the country. Key Club is a club that is notably large in its number of participants, both in the United States and internationally. After hearing about the impact of the service from only 2 women who empowered their cause with their own voices, I now see the influence that such a large group like Key Club has the potential to make. Every Key Club member has their own voice, meaning every Key Club member has their own ability to spark change. All it takes is passion and the unwavering determination to shed light on issues that impact millions yet are unheard by double that amount. Through the vast resources and connections that Key Club has, as well as the incredible minds, hearts, and voices that make up the club, Key Club members have the power to spark change if they truly set their minds to it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Manya Madden, and I was the first place winner of the oratory contest, and I'm just going to read you the prompt really quickly. So, leadership has the greatest impact when leaders serve and empower other people. How has your understanding of leadership shifted through the act of empowering others? In what ways has lifting others challenged, changed, or deepened your own sense of leadership? When I first stepped into a leadership role in Key Club, I thought leadership was supposed to be loud. Getting an officer position in my sophomore year, I believed being a leader was about standing in front of the room, being the face of the project, and making sure every single person heard my voice. But as I transitioned into the role of secretary, stepping slightly out of the spotlight and into the core of our club, my perspective began to shift. Every year, our club runs a volleyball marathon to raise funds. This past March, I was in charge of several committees that were responsible for setting up the entire event. The sheer scale of it was overwhelming. We needed sponsorships, decorations, team recruitment, and lots of publicity. My instinct was to micromanage, to make sure every poster was perfect and every decoration was placed exactly the way we had envisioned it. But instead of trying to control everything, I decided to take a step back. I placed trust in my committee members. I watched a quiet freshman take charge of recruiting teams. I watched our decorating committee transform a simple gym into something spectacular. That was the moment I understood. Empowering others doesn't take away your leadership. It multiplies it. Though it's not always easy, because empowering others means letting go of control. It means accepting that things might not be done your way. It means being okay with not getting the credit, and that's difficult. But it's also what makes leadership real, because real leadership isn't measured by how many people follow you. It's measured by how many people you lift up beside you, and what exactly you inspire others to do. And that empowerment doesn't just stop at the doors of our school. The beauty of Key Club is that the empowerment we foster within our team ripples outward into the community. I have felt it myself, sitting at the old age home, simply listening to stories of a generation that just wants to be heard. I've heard it when we sit down to paint hearts of hope, knowing that a simple, colorful piece of clay might be the one thing that brings a smile to someone facing the darkest chapter of their life. When we rally together to raise money for Relay for Life, or when we gather resources for Nourish NJ, we are doing more than just hitting a fundraising quota or logging our service hours. We are looking at our neighbors who are struggling, and we are saying, you are not alone. We are here to lift you up. Serving others is the ultimate act of empowerment. It is giving someone the tools, the hope, and the dignity to keep moving forward. And in return, they empower us. They strip away our pride and teach us profound empathy. They remind us that the titles we hold, secretary, PR, president, mean absolutely nothing if we do not have a servant's heart. Looking back, I realized that the most meaningful parts of my journey were never the moments I was leading from the front. They were the moments I was walking behind someone, encouraging them, believing in them, even before they believed in themselves. That's what Key Club has taught me, that service isn't just about helping the community. It's about building people. That leadership isn't about being in charge. It's about creating space for others to grow, to lead, to shine. And most importantly, that the greatest impact we will ever have as leaders isn't in what we do alone. It's what we inspire others to do. So today, when I think about leadership, I don't think about being the loudest voice anymore. I think about the quiet ones, the ones still waiting to be heard. And I ask myself, how can I help them find their voice? Because that is the kind of leader I am still learning to become. And that is the kind of leadership that truly changes the world. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you and the Key Club. This is a great, tremendous honor on behalf of the whole district and the whole club. So we thank you for everything you've done and sharing your, accomplishments tonight. Thank you so much.
Well, good evening, everybody, again. It's my distinct honor tonight to introduce a student who truly embodies the spirit, leadership, and heart of Montville Township High School, Jenna Ammer. Many of you likely recognize Jenna's voice before you even see her face, as she is the person who greets our building every morning over the loudspeaker. But Jenna's far more than the morning voice of MTHS. She's a driving force within our school community. Tonight, we're proud to recognize her as our Student Activities Council President and our Board of Education Student Representative. Jen is a natural leader who has dedicated herself to making sure every student at Montville feels seen and heard. In her role on the Student Activities Council, she's been instrumental in cultivating our school spirit, coordinating everything from pep rallies and school dances to our Spirit Week themes. Beyond student government, Jenna is a powerhouse across the board. In the classroom, she's a member of the National Honor Society, excelling in a rigorous honors curriculum with a passion for neuroscience. Her teachers describe her as an animated and insightful student who brings a wonderful energy to class discussions. On the field and in the community, she's a dedicated 3-season athlete in soccer, swim, and lacrosse, and is a 2-time recipient of the Coaches Award for soccer. She also serves as vice president of the Seeing Eye Puppy Club, is a 4-year member of DECA, balances 2 part-time jobs, and volunteers weekly at the Palestinian American Community Center. What makes Jenna truly exceptional is her character. Over her high school career, she has faced significant personal challenges, yet she has met every hardship with incredible grace, using life's obstacles as opportunities for self-growth, resilience, and a deeper empathy for others. Jenna, you bring a warmth and determination to MTHS that leaves a lasting impact on everyone you meet. We're so incredibly proud of you. Please join me in recognizing and thanking our SAC President, our Board of Ed student rep, and the voice of the Mustangs, Jenna Ammer. Now it's my distinct privilege, as principal of Montville Township High School, to introduce an outstanding young man who represents the very best of our student body. Tonight we're recognizing our senior class president and other Board of Ed student rep, Aiden Blumenthal. If you spend any time around MTHS, you already know Aiden. He's been a cornerstone of the class of 2026, serving as class vice president as a freshman and leading as class president for his sophomore, junior, and senior years. As our student representative of the board, he ensures his peers' voices are heard with maturity and clarity. Aiden's a young man of exceptional character, determined, organized, and deeply selfless. Academically, he thrives in advanced coursework, earning membership in both the National and Spanish Honor Societies and receiving multiple awards for excellence in mathematics. His passion lies in economics and accounting, a field he plans to pursue with the dream of one day opening an office with his brothers. What truly sets Aiden apart, however, is his commitment to lifting up others, whether he is leading school clubs, coaching youth basketball, guiding younger campers at Camp Echo Lake, or serving as a full-time part-time Hebrew and cultural teacher at the Pine Brook Jewish Center, Aiden constantly uses his leadership to make a meaningful impact. Aiden often credits his incredible work ethic to his family, especially his mother, whom he calls his rock. The support of his family, combined with his own resilience in overcoming a significant personal and physical challenge during his freshman year, have shaped him into the phenomenal leader standing before us tonight. Aiden, your school community is incredibly proud of you. Members of the Board of Education, it's my honor to present to you Aiden Blumenthal. Now it's my absolute privilege to introduce and celebrate the salutatorian of the class of 2026, Anisha Malenti. Anisha is the living embodiment of our mission to educate, inspire, and empower. Academically, she has maintained a flawless record in our most rigorous courses while also attending Columbia University's Science Honors Program. What truly sets Anisha apart is how she pairs her intellect with leadership and service. She's the captain and lead program of our state qualifying FIRST robotics team, president of our FBLA chapter, where she has competed at the national level. She has also conducted research alongside NASA experts during a highly competitive summer internship. She serves as the vice president of our Cultural Diversity Club and has been a classic Indian dancer since the age of 7. Anisha has also amassed 400 hours of community service, earning 4 gold presidential certificates, and as Key Club president, she was the only student in New Jersey selected as the UNICEF champion, and she actively leads disaster relief education as a youth volunteer with FEMA. Anisha's ultimate goal is to enter the field of robotics, computer science, and environmental engineering to solve real-world challenges. She's a true leader who brings an award-winning drive and a deeply compassionate heart to everything she touches. Anisha, you've made our entire school community incredibly proud. Please join me in recognizing the class of 2026 salutatorian, Anisha Malenti. Last but certainly not least, it's my absolute privilege to recognize an extraordinary young leader. Please join me in celebrating the valedictorian for the class of 2026, Amy Zhang. Amy's accomplishments span across scientific research, national debate, business, and community service. Academically, she operates at a graduate level. Her independent research on a novel plant proteins has been published twice by the National Center for Biotechnology Information, and she is a published sole author in an international economics journal. But what truly defines Amy is how she elevates everyone around her. As president of our speech and debate team, she mentors over 100 members. Her excellence earned her an academic All-American award, placing her in the top 1% of students nationwide. She serves as the president of our National Honor Society, overseeing a tutoring network for over 1,000 students. She holds executive leadership roles in both FBLA and DECA, is a varsity tennis athlete, and is also a Girl Scout Gold Award recipient. Amy's brilliant intellect is perfectly matched by her genuine humility, kindness, and integrity. She does not lead through authority, but rather through empathy. Amy, we are incredibly proud of you. It's my distinct honor to present the class of 2026 valedictorian, Amy Zhang. Good evening. I am thrilled to present our ShopRite Stars for the fourth and final marking period of the 2025-2026 school year. Tonight's stars, as always, were nominated by faculty members of one of 5 different categories, and the winners were selected by an administrative committee. In addition to the recognition of these wonderful students, Sunrise ShopRite generously donates $1,000 to the class of 2026. Please join me in congratulating each of our stars this evening. In the field of academics, congratulations to Sharvi Khanna. Over the course of the past 4 years, Sharvi has not just taken the most challenging classes we offer, including 12 APs, multivariable calculus, and ResMol. She has excelled and maintains a 4.7 plus GPA. Despite personal success, Sharvi is more passionate about the pursuit of knowledge and bringing her technical expertise to leadership and service. As president of the Computer Club, she has been instrumental in fostering a culture of innovation by organizing hackathons, coding workshops, and a school-wide e-waste recycling program. Sharvi also serves as the vice president of FBLA and webmaster in forensics, where she is a 2-time national competitor, placing 7th in the entire nation for parliamentary procedure and developing a training program to mentor fellow members. Sharvi's intellectual curiosity has led her far beyond the high school classroom. Through the Aspiring Students Summer Internship Program at George Mason University, she conducted sophisticated research on the impact of artificial intelligence on creativity. Her findings were published in the Journal of Student Scientist Research and presented at the MIT Undergraduate Research Technology Conference. Additionally, as a software engineer intern at EPAM Systems, she became the first high school student to design and lead workshops introducing younger students to foundational computer science concepts. Even with these professional pursuits, she remains dedicated to her community. As a team lead for the SEWA International, she has led monthly electronic donation drives to provide underserved families with essential technology. She also shares her academic gifts as a math instructor at Mathnasium, teaching students from the elementary levels all the way up to and through pre-calculus. This fall, Sharvi will attend the Cornell University to major in computer science within the College of Arts and Sciences. Again, congratulations. In the field of athletics, congratulations to Anthony Agnoli. Anthony's success is directly attributed to a level of talent and dedication and relentless drive that is truly rare. Over the course of this school year, Anthony has established himself as one of the most dominant throwers in the state and country. During the indoor track season, Anthony was a force to be reckoned with, becoming the Morris County Indoor Champion in shot put. He followed this achievement by winning the NJSIAA Group 2 State Championship and securing a massive state runner-up finish at the NJSIAA State Meet of Champions against New Jersey's most elite field. Anthony even took his talents to the ultimate national stage, placing 25th in the championship division at the New Balance Nationals Indoor. His momentum continued during the spring outdoor season at the prestigious Penn Relays. Anthony secured the 8th place finish in the discus against top throwers from across the U.S. At the NJSIAA sectionals, he was a double champion in the shot put and discus. His discus throw of 181.5 feet stood as the #1 throw in the entire state of New Jersey for that weekend. Anthony's postseason continued with another Morris County Championship title and culminated at the NJSIAA Group 3 Championships, where he became a double state group champion. He earned the titles with a throw of 177 feet and 2 inches in the discus and a national personal best of 63 feet, 10.5 inches in the shot put. Aside from football and track and field, Anthony is a talented student and has excelled in multiple honors and AP level classes. In the fall, Anthony will continue his track and career field at Monmouth, a Division I university. Again, congratulations.
Anthony, Sharvi and Anthony, stay up here. We're going to do a group picture when we're done, so don't go too far.
In the field of the arts, congratulations to Sonia Vaidya. Sonia represents a level of technical mastery and creative curiosity that is truly exceptional. Sonia is a musician of remarkable commitment, having dedicated 12 years to the piano and 9 years to the flute. As a vital member of various ensembles here at the high school, she consistently shared her talents on esteemed stages, including performances at William Patterson and alongside the Rutgers Marching Band. This past March, her musical journey reached a significant milestone when she participated in the Rutgers Honors Band program. This experience allowed her to receive intensive master classes directly from Rutgers music faculty, further refining a craft that she has nurtured herself for over a decade. However, Sonia's artistic voice is just as compelling on the page as it is on the stage. She is an accomplished writer who has achieved international acclaim in the language arts. Out of 13,000 international contestants, she was selected as one of the top 15 winners of the New York Times 2024 Tiny Memoir Contest. She continued the streak of excellence by receiving an honorable mention for her submission to the New York Times 2025 How-To Contest. What truly distinguishes Sonia is her ability to bridge the gap between creative expression and scientific inquiry. She has successfully combined her love for the arts with a deep interest in science through lab research at Montclair State University. Sonia has been able to accomplish all of this while simultaneously taking 10 AP classes during her time at Montville, achieving the seal of biliteracy in Spanish and maintaining a 4.6 plus GPA. In the fall, Sonia will attend Rutgers University in their prestigious Honors College and major in chemistry. Again, congratulations. In the field of community service, congratulations to Leah Seawold. Throughout all 4 years of high school, Leah has masterfully balanced leadership positions, athletics, work, and academics. A significant portion of her impact is seen through her work with the Montville Key Club, where she serves as the senior service coordinator. In this role, she has completed over 140 service hours, participating in a variety of initiatives, including food and toy drives, trunk or treat, and holiday decorating at the St. Pius Church. One of her most notable accomplishments was leading the 2026 Nourish New Jersey fundraiser, which raised over $3,000 for those in need. Leah's leadership also focuses on fostering an inclusive and supportive school environment. As the event coordinator for the ACE Mentor Program and Best Buddies, she organized activities that brought students together, creating a more welcoming community. Furthermore, through her involvement in the National Honor Society and peers as leaders, she has mentored younger students and assisted with our new student orientation. Additionally, Leah's interest in healthcare led her to volunteer at the New Jersey Center of Physical Therapy, where she was invited back for a paid position as a physical therapy aide and now works directly with patients and therapists multiple times each week. She has also served as a teacher's assistant for the Valley View Elementary School's Extended Year Program, leading activities for students throughout the summer. Despite a busy schedule, she has dedicated herself to the varsity field hockey team as an athlete and avid learner, taking multiple AP and honor level classes while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. This fall, Leah will attend the University of South Carolina Arnold School of Public Health to study exercise science on a pre-physical therapy track. Again, congratulations. In the field of leadership, congratulations to Nolan Schenkman. Leadership at MTHS is characterized by maturity, initiative, and a deep commitment to both the school and the broader community. Nolan exemplifies these traits through his remarkable ability to balance world-class athletic achievements, elite academic performance, and also dedicated loyal service. Nolan is described as someone who leads by example and is unafraid to speak up for what he believes. This is evidenced by his participation in student government during his freshman year, which laid the foundation to a successful senior year. As a scholar, Nolan pursued one of our most rigorous paths, completing 11 AP classes while maintaining a 4.5 plus GPA. His academic dedication is further highlighted by an exceptional 1520 SAT score. On the athletic front, Nolan's leadership is evident in his 4-year commitment to our high school soccer program, where he serves as the team captain, and his competitive play for the STA soccer club. His talents have even earned him a place on the international stage, representing the Maccabi Jewish national team as captain for futsal. Nolan competed in the Pan American Games in Argentina in 2023 and the Great Britain Youth Games in London in 2024. To compete at such a high level while maintaining top-tier academic excellence requires the kind of discipline and focus that requires and defines a true leader. Closer to home, Nolan was an inductee into the National Honor Society, Spanish Honor Society, and as an active member of RISE, PAL, and REACH, contributing to a positive school environment. He also dedicates his time to mentoring the next generation as a coach for a recreational town track program. In the fall, Nolan will attend Syracuse University to major in architecture. And again, congratulations to Nolan, each of our fourth marking period ShopRite stars, and the 20 seniors throughout this year who have been recognized as stars.
All right. So now we're so many wonderful things. That was with the student portion, and we're going to go on to the adults who are the greatest prize of them all, retirement, I guess. And we have 9 of the 18 retirees here this evening, and we're going to start off with Valley View with Dr. Kennedy. But grab the phone. You got to grab the mic, though. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll say it again. Dr. Raj and I go back a long way. We're friends, we're colleagues, and we've had a lot of fun together over the years. He always tells me I talk too much about my teachers, but this evening I want to say a few things about 3 extraordinary teachers and 1 extraordinary LDTC. Ms. Sue Ann Hanshu, affectionately known by her students as Ms. Sue, has been an educator for over 40 years and has served with distinction in Valley View since 2001 as a preschool teacher. Her dedication to our youngest scholars has established a solid footing for their educational journey ahead. Along with her colleagues, Ms. Sue was instrumental in developing Valley View's pre-K program early on. And we are proud to say that we host not only 2 sections of preschool, but Valley View currently hosts 5 preschool programs. As one of her team members has recently noted, with daily doses of fun, Ms. Hanshu's lessons are crafted to reach all levels with an unmatched love and compassion that she has for the art of teaching. A lifelong learner, this extraordinary educator has consistently explored best practices and creative ideas via professional development workshops and ongoing collaboration with her colleagues. She is frequently seen at the Morris Union Joint in New Providence, working on programs to advance the skills of autistic children. STEAM lessons in recent years have introduced children to the wonders of science and potential career paths. Ms. Sue invites sunshine into the lives of the children who respond to her kind and warm demeanor and heartfelt lessons. Parents have praised the growth they have witnessed in their children and attribute this to Ms. Sue and her exceptional team. Holiday celebrations have welcomed parents to school to share the joy of their children in their daily pre-K lives. Sue has developed lasting impressions with students, parents, and colleagues. One in particular, who was the former chief of police in Patterson, would come every year. He was also a member of a bagpipe band that marched in every St. Patrick's parade, and he would come to Valley View and celebrate St. Patrick's Day with us and celebrate Miss Sue for all the wonderful things that she had done for his children. And we would march around the school with the bagpipes playing. Miss Sue has taught her students to communicate, to share, and to love learning. I'll go to that part later. Okay, now I'd like to go on to Miss Amy Kovach. Amy, affectionately known as Miss Amy to her students, has been an educator for 27 years, 25 of them in Valley View. As a veteran pre-K teacher, Ms. Kovach was instrumental, along with Ms. Sue, in developing our preschool integrated program. Over the years, Ms. Amy has championed our youngest scholars. She enhances their communication skills, has developed curriculum, and encourages children to develop personal relationships. Students in the class have fun, they share, and they learn via a variety of hands-on playful activities that are tailored for learning styles and specific needs. Sue also spends a lot of time teaching the children about STEAM and the power of science. Students trust that Miss Amy's requests come from the heart and are in their best interests. Parents have also expressed great gratitude to Miss Amy. One has said, "You have brought so much laughter and fun into our boys' lives. They adore you, and I'm very happy that I can say you have been a monumental part of my children's lives." They're welcome into school for celebrations and to highlight their children's accomplishments. Miss Amy is also a lifelong learner, joining Miss Sue down in New Providence to learn best practices for special needs children, in particular autistic children. She has also earned an additional certification as an LDT teacher and has worked with the summer school in testing children for the Special Services Department. Miss Amy also has brought a lasting impact on the lives of children and parents. Miss Jana Feinstein, our third teacher who is retiring, is also a special education teacher. She has been in education for 26 years. She started as a speech therapist, and she came to us in 2001. During this time, Ms. Feinstein has expertly scaffolded instruction for children in the small group resource room settings and has brilliantly co-taught with colleagues at various grade levels. I can confidently say that when Jana came to me, I was so impressed with her skills. She is the kind of teacher that you can place anywhere and depend on the expertise and high level of rigor in the instruction. She's an extraordinary educator. She's committed to her students' emotional growth as well. She serves on our Climate and Cultural Committee and has contributed many ideas to producing a safe and nurturing environment for our children. These three educators are consummate, dedicated professionals. We wish them many blessings and happiness in their retirement. I also want to acknowledge, I didn't know if Ann Scroggins was on the list, but I don't think she's here with us tonight. Dr. Scroggins, as many of you know, worked in Valley View for many years. Some of you know her from the county. Ann worked as an educator in Belleville. She also was in the high school in Booton a little time while I was there. I was only there a very short time, but I knew of Ann Scroggins and her reputation, highly respected educator and special education advocate. Dr. Scroggins came to us many years ago, 14 years ago, I believe, to Valley View as an LDTC in my building. I felt like I really had a partner. My doctorate is in special education advocacy, and I found my soulmate in Ann Scroggins. Please forgive me, Ann. Anne knows special education. She has a degree as a business administrator. She has an EDD in leadership, but she's also duly certified in education. She would come to meetings, talk to parents, explain the testing procedure for IEP plans to an nth degree, where parents left confident that their kids were in the best hands, and she assured them that they were at Valley View and in our special services department. Anne has decided to retire, much to my chagrin, but we wish her many blessings and happiness in her retirement as well. Thank you.
Will the Valley View teachers please come up? Mr. Malucci, you're next.
You need a doctorate to turn this microphone on, apparently. Good evening, everyone. Congratulations once again to all of our retirees. In case you didn't see, Dr. Shorter just called me over. He said, Dave, after Dr. Kennedy went, be seen, be heard, be seated. So I promise I will be brief. Tonight we're honoring Mrs. Oberlin, and words I don't think are enough, and I certainly cannot articulate just how beloved and respected Mrs. Oberlin was at William Mason School, so I'm not going to try. What I will do is share a quick story about how when she decided and needed to take a family leave last December, there was great fear and trepidation amongst the parents at William Mason, and rightly so. It's like replacing Michael Jordan, LeBron James, for hockey fans, Mark Messier. And quite honestly, I was very unsure myself as to whether or not we would find a suitable replacement in December. And when I responded to the parents and to Dr. Gorman and Dr. Shorter that we were able to secure her daughter, it was met with complete silence, no more emails, no more phone calls. And I think that one of the greatest things that you could leave your family is a good name. And so, Ava, your mom leaves behind a wonderful name, and I think that your reputation alone put everyone at ease. And so, Diane, you meant the world to William Mason, you meant the world to me, and we're going to miss you dearly. I apologize for holding on to the microphone longer than intended, but I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank my boss, my colleague, and my friend, Dr. Shorter, for his steady presence and being a source of wisdom for not only me, the 4 other elementary principals, Mr. Prosciutto, who's here with us tonight, and for obviously Mr. Sanford, who is somewhere in the house over there. You had your hand in every major decision that I think each and every one of us made throughout the 14 years I had the pleasure of working with you. And I can honestly say I'm a better principal, better person, and better father for having known you. So I wish you all the best in your retirement. And on behalf of all the administrators, thank you so much.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Hold on, my phone's got to flip. Okay. First of all, congratulations to all the students recognized tonight for their outstanding accomplishments. Congratulations to all the retirees for the conclusion of their careers, and best of luck in the next chapter of your life. Lazar has 4 retirees this year, one of which was able to attend tonight. Please take a moment to recognize Miss Eleanor Klinger, our school nurse. If I have to do this, you do too. At Lazar, we have a saying, veterans do veteran things. What that means is that we, as an administration, can trust their judgment, their actions, and their impact. Eleanor certainly meets that criteria. In many situations, she has served as another administrator, a friend, a sounding board for life's ups and downs. Her calming presence, experience, and wisdom help all who seek her out, but especially me. A quick funny story that I told at her retirement dinner. Everybody remembers COVID, right? So there were a lot of late nights where Eleanor and I would be on the phone, and I'd be whispering in the office talking to Eleanor. You guys remember the Jake from State Farm commercial? Right? Well, my wife would come in and say, "Who are you talking to?" and instead of Jake from State Farm, it was Eleanor from Lazar. But you have made a tremendous impact on all of us, and you will be missed. So congratulations. All right, Mr. Malucci got the microphone first, but while I have the microphone, and I know how uncomfortable this makes you, I want to take the time to recognize one other person, Dr. Casey Shorter. Some people don't realize the role the assistant superintendent plays in serving as a go-to person and mentor for the building principals. I personally will be forever grateful for your impact on me, both as an educator, a husband, and a father. We've had many conversations. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and I know 2 things. More time on the golf course is not going to make you any better. And if you played with him, you know why. I'm going to miss you, Coach.
Not a doctor, but I got it. Hey, I'm Rich Bedman for everybody knows. I'm the facility manager here in the district. I'm here to Mike Fedorchuk's retiring tonight. A little bit of history about Mike. In 1999, he came over from the Ukraine here for his wife and kids. Sat there in 2001, he got a job working at Hilldale as a custodian. Sit there for 2008, he became the maintenance guy. Now this is where I come into Mike. About 12 years ago, I was a custodian at Lazar. Mike comes over, showing me how to do the ropes. I had a problem putting the lights in. I put all the fluorescent bulbs in, they wouldn't light up. Mike said it's the ballast. I'm like, the ballast? What is a ballast? You know, could have been a code for the thing for all I know. So he sits there, he shows me, it's real simple, white line, go to white line, black to black, blue to blue, put it on, the lights come on. Fantastic. Here I am going through the district like I'm a hero now, changing all light bulbs. I'm like, I'm a super guy here. Till I come to one of them that has 4 lights in it. Whole different animal now. The ballast, I pull it down, it has literally yellow, green, purple, polka dots. I have no idea what I'm doing. Call Mike back over. I go, Mike, this is the problem I have. What can you do for me? He is laughing like he saw the best joke in the world, man. Up and down. Sits there, explains it all to me, shows a diagram, draws it. Well, I drew the diagram, he filled it out for me. But we got the whole thing, goes on from there, and everything's good. That's the kind of guy Mike is. You know, he's out there to help you through the whole show. Till the day, I don't know if Mike showed me so I knew how to do it, or I did it to make his job easier. It's one or the other, but we both worked out. Mike is a unicorn. He does everything. Plumbing, electrical, you name it. He's going to be missed.
Good evening, everyone. I am Austin Thompson, the Director of IT Services. I'd like to take a few moments to recognize the dedication. This is going to be hard. And user service of my colleague, Dr. Andrea Van Buskirk. Andrea is a proud Rutgers graduate, earning her bachelor's degree in political science and sociology. She later completed a master's in elementary education with a specialization in instructional technology. She earned her New Jersey supervisor certification and ultimately completed her doctorate in organizational education. Andrea began her career in education 30 years ago as a technology lab teacher at St. Mary's in Pompton Plains. She later served in Reddington Township and Piscataway before joining Montville Township Public Schools in October 2012 as our educational technology teacher coach. Throughout her career, Andrea has contributed far beyond our district. She has served on the New Jersey Educational Technology Committee, the Middlesex County Technology Council, and participated on several Morris Union Jointure committees, including some with me. She's also been presenter at Texpo for the past 5 years, and in 2020, she was recognized as the Montville Township's Educational Service Professional of the Year. Over the last 14 years, Andrea has helped shape the way our district teaches and learns. She welcomes and trains new faculty at orientation. Principals compete to reserve her for professional development days. And she worked one-on-one with every single teacher during our district-wide projector implementation project, really helping me out, and has supported countless other initiatives across our schools. Andrea's impact has never been limited to introducing new tools or equipment. She's been in classrooms creating custom lessons, co-teaching alongside staff, and providing hands-on support during some of our most challenging transitions, including the move to computer-based testing. For those who may not know, Andrea and I have shared an office for most of her time here. When she started, she had her own office, but during some construction, we decided to temporarily share mine. Apparently, neither of us disliked the arrangement enough to change it because 14 years later, we are still office mates. Although every summer she does seem to disappear and remind me of what having my own office feels like. In our time together, Andrea has helped me revise more email announcements than I can count. We planned and implemented some giant projects together. We've talked each other into Texpo presentations. And especially over the last few years, we've spent many hours visiting the schools together to meet with teachers. In retirement, I anticipate Andrea will spend much less time revising my emails. No, I didn't say none. And a lot more time tackling century bike rides and feeding her new golf addiction. Andrea, thank you for your 14 years of service. Congratulations on your retirement.
I'm not used to being on both sides of on the aisle here. But Sue Marinella is probably a familiar face to many of you. She's very active in town and was very active here for 12 years serving in the district. Sue served as a part-time employee, and then she showed us the demand for this position, and we made her a full-time employee. And she was always asking for another person, you know, to help pick up all the things that were going on, because there's so many wonderful things, as you saw this evening. And this is just a small little, you know, indication of what's going on daily in our buildings. Sue was instrumental in writing all the articles, what happened, capturing what happened at the board meetings, taking the pictures, doing all these different things, and communicating all the great news that are going out to the community. So we really appreciate that. She was also very instrumental in doing all the branding. She's literally left her mark on this district. So all the branding around all the schools, the step and repeat right here, the pins, the logos, the mascots, everything we have throughout the district. Sue was instrumental in the very beginning of all this whole process, and just really leaving a lasting mark with that. She's been involved on the state level as well as the local level with public information, getting all that different groups out there, leading the way, helping other people as well, training them about the ropes about how to do good journalism and how to get good communication messages out there. She's her constant articles, social media posts, newsletters kept the community informed and highlighted most of all the students and the staff on a daily basis. She will not miss my 4:30 in the morning phone calls about the snow days and what do we got to do and how do we have to make a quick decision. But Sue truly loved everything about this district. She gave her heart and soul to this district. She loved everything that she could do for this. She was here on weekends, at night, just doing things because of the love of the community, and she gave so much to this district, and you can be greatly missed, but most of all by me. So thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to do one more. And then we have Casey, Dr. Shorter. We recognized him a little while ago, but we're going to recognize him again. So congratulations to Dr. Shorter, 14 years working in this district. And the interesting fact, you heard these wonderful things the other principals were sharing, but he's hired probably almost 2/3 of the staff. Being the assistant superintendent, everybody has to get interviewed by him. They come through his office and all that time. You could thank him for the final touches of these people that are here teaching your children, the staff here doing an incredible job. He's been a great mentor to me as well, helping me along the way, learning the ropes. We have Mr. Stanford from the high school going to be replacing him. They've been working closely together, and it's going to be a great transition. But Dr. Shorter's influence and impact on this district is going to be greatly missed. Dr. Shorter.
At this point, we're going to take a 5-minute break.
PTA reports also, stuff like that?
Yeah, all of it.
He said 5 minutes.
Better. Yeah, a lot going on at home, but it's better. Either I'm getting used to it or things are actually getting better.
It really doesn't matter. It's the same impact.
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
We're going to call the meeting back to order.
You can tell people they're allowed to leave if they want.
Okay.
Okay, just in the interest of time, we have a student safety data report that was given to all the board members. That was for the period beginning September 1, 2025 to December 2025. So you have that in your packet. Please review it. And just an update on Hilldale. We're very close to a solution with that we believe that work will begin again shortly to finish off that project the way it was intended to be. So we should have some answers on that, and you should hopefully be seeing some movement on that shortly. Again, in the interest of time, we're just going to suspend the committee reports, and we'll get to all the committee reports in July at the meeting, and then public report.
Okay, so we're going to go to public participation for items on the agenda only. There will be another portion at the end of the meeting for anyone who wants to make just general comments. Seeing none, we're going to go to consent resolutions. Oh.
Testing. Okay. Nadia Qureshi, 33 Crescent Road, Pine Brook, New Jersey. I am addressing the 27-28 calendar that is on the agenda today. As everybody here should be well aware now, my agenda is to have you guys include the holiday of Eid al-Adha on the 27-28 calendar. We just had Eid al-Adha on Wednesday, May 27th. I did speak with Dr. Gorman, and he said there was 150 student absences that day because of the holiday. So I think that is significant enough for you guys to consider including it on the calendar. And as my daughter said, Mommy, when are you going to get them to give us off for Eid? So I am here to ask again, as you guys are proposing the 27-28 calendar, to please consider putting Eid al-Adha on the calendar, especially because it will be during the school year and during major school events moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to consent resolutions. Can I get a motion? A second?
Second.
Section I. Section J. Section K. Section L.
Yeah, L, we have an addendum that was given to you prior to this. There's been some corrections to some of the calculations for salaries for work over the summer and things like that. So you have that addendum. And, yep. And L369 will be removed from tonight's vote. And I do have a resignation, or a retirement, actually. Evie Rokovich has been a member of the MTHS school counseling team and liaison for Lazar and our elementary school counselors for the past 5 years. During this time, she has worked extensively in supporting our students, their families, and our staff, and she's a valued member of our team. She'll be truly missed as she retires later on this summer. We wish her well.
Section M. Section N. Can I now get a roll call vote?
Dr. Modrak?
No to M528, yes to everything else.
Mr. Rappaport?
Abstain, section I, yes to everything else.
Dr. Cordolino?
Yes.
Mrs. Fano?
Yes.
Mr. Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Petrosino?
Yes.
Mrs. Smith,
Yes, abstain on K6.
Mrs. Zuckerman,
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry.
Yes, abstain on K1, check number 13347. Section Q, old business. Routine?
Okay, so this is a follow-up from last meeting that we had in May discussing the facilities and a commitment that this board made over a decade ago to begin to revitalize the buildings who were all beginning to get to their 50th birthday, so that these buildings would be able to service another 50 years worth of students. And that process began in 2016 and was kicked off with the referendum in 2017. But it continued after that point. And last time we met, we went through each of the buildings and all the different work that we've done in each of the different buildings. This is just a summary of all those different projects, everything from the work that occurred in the 2017 referendum, the 2018 ESIP, the 2019 ESIP, us participating in the ROD grants in 2024, and a multitude of different withdrawals from our reserves, our savings accounts, in order to repair and do renovation work at different schools, including the security vestibules that have just been completed. As we had discussed last time, the pressure that all of these projects, totaling about $58 million worth of projects over the past 10 years, has definitely put a big pressure onto the reserves. And the district had made the decision that it was going to hold its reserves at 10% in order to provide a cushion, but also to maintain its status with Standard & Poor's in terms of future ratings for issuance of bonds. And based on our usage of those reserves, we have hit that 10% floor with the close of the 2026-27 school year. What that means is that there are no additional funds available for us to do future work. And when we began this process, we basically put all the different projects into a hierarchy of those that were the greatest needs down, and we worked through that list. However, that leaves a lot of projects that certainly are needed that have not yet been done. And so last time we met, we walked through the different buildings and discussed the different projects. The unit ventilators, the boxes that are underneath the windows in particularly the elementary schools, are original to the building. So those unit ventilators are the heaters for the rooms, and they are now 65 years old. We really can't even get parts anymore. We're just holding them together as best we can. Boilers that need to be replaced that are also part of the heating systems. The windows, particularly in the sister schools, Cedar Hill, William Mason, and Woodmont, are original to the buildings. Switchgear, which is the way the power comes into the building, again, 65 years old, and are beginning to show wear. We had done a replacement of the switchgear, electrical switchgear coming into this building 2 years ago, because we were concerned that eventually we just wouldn't be able to get power. Upgrading generators, fire systems, elevators in the high school, and then technology wiring. As the technology needs begin to grow and grow, our wiring is now over 15 years old, and it just needs to be updated. So as this particular screen shows, there is about $24 million worth of repair work that needs to be done at the elementary schools. When you add in Lazar and the high school, that comes to 31.6 million. The board looked at some other projects. We called them program enhancements. These were improvements that were being done because they affected academic programs, renovations to the auditorium for the high school, the house, meaning the place where we all sit when they're performing, is original to the high school, now over 50 years old, and has never been renovated. The demands on that particular space are all year round, not only used by us in terms of the high school in its performances, it's used by Lazar, it's used by the community. And to have another auditorium, such as one at Lazar, would be a great addition to Lazar. It is one of those very expensive additions that we came to the board last time to ask whether they'd be supportive of. In addition to that, we also asked the question of outdoor recreation space. Right now, the students at Lazar cross Changebridge Road and go over to the rec fields to utilize their fields for gym and any type of recreational space. The time that they have to get outside as part of their lunch time is done in the driveway of Lazar, right along Changebridge Road. So we had proposed a possible improvement for additional outdoor space to prevent that playing in the front of the building or crossing the street. The other item that we had added on and discussed last time was the possibility of expansions. In 2023, we put forward a referendum that included the addition of classrooms onto and some cafeterias onto the elementary schools that has now expanded to Lazar as the children have aged and now are moving up in grades. And that total, I was going to add classrooms to each of the different buildings in order to control class size. Essentially, based on a lot of the discussion that we had last time, I attempted, and attempt is exactly what I is, so you need to say to me, this is not what we want, to try to figure out what it was that was appealing to the board. That included the $31 million worth of facility repairs and the auditorium renovation at the high school. So if you take all of those projects that you see over the column on your right, comes to 31.6 million of repairs. And then if I add into that the renovation of the auditorium, that comes to 35.6 in total, a possible total referendum. Now, we do have a financial team that does do work for us in terms of beginning to look at what tax impact would be for projects. All of the projects listed on this page are eligible for the 40% coverage from debt service aid. So what does that mean? It means that for every dollar that the board would commit to spend, the state of New Jersey will pick up 40 cents of it, and we will only fund from our own tax base 60 cents on the dollar. In terms of impact, for a house assessed, so when you get your tax bill, your house is assessed at a value that's not necessarily what you can sell your house for. For a house, for every $100,000 house assessed, the combination of the 31.6 and the $4 million bringing you to 35.6 would be a $40 increase. So the average assessed house in Montville is about at around $540 right now. That would be a little more than $200 increase on taxes. So the question that we're kind of coming to you all with is, how do you want to proceed? One of the things that we spoke about last time when we met in May was the fact that we would like to put out a community-wide survey on the different renovations that we were proposing, the different additions that we were proposing, in order to get feedback from the community. So you have received, and you should have it with you now. If you don't have a copy, I can get you one. A mock-up of what that survey would look like. Our intention was to begin sending that survey out starting tomorrow, with the hope that when we meet on the 21st of July, which is your next board meeting, we would have the results of that survey. This survey is going to go out to not only our own school communities, but also the greater community in Montville, so that all the stakeholders in Montville would have the opportunity to respond and indicate what their preferences would be. As part of the items on K5, we included the approval of the architect to do the preliminary work on the schematics, drawings, and submittals. Now, that sounds like a very huge task. In actuality, it's a lot smaller currently because we've already had these conversations. The last referendum included a lot of this work, so they've already done a lot of this work. What we've done is we've created a situation where every single one of the projects that we've listed at each of the different schools is in its own little bucket. And depending on how the surveys come back, depending on how the board feels it wishes to proceed, we just keep swapping projects until we come up with the project that, that works. Sorry about that. That was me. So what they will do is they're going to start putting all that together. We would then come back on the 21st to review the community-wide surveys to see where the board feels comfortable going. The plan would be that because we're just swapping already plans that have already been developed by the architects, we would be able to come up with a plan that is supported by the community, and that paperwork would then go to the Department of Education down in Trenton by July 31st. If that were to occur, you would be in line for a referendum vote in January 26, 2027. So I guess I'm interested in feedback from the board regarding direction, specifically direction, if you have it, on the survey, because if we are going to send that out, if that's what the will of the board is, then I want to be able to try to get that out this week so that we can give everyone enough time to respond and we can collect and process that feedback.
Joe, Caitlin, sorry. Katine, I have a question though. Are we, even though we have all these plans, architects are expensive. Can we wait until after we get the surveys back from the parents, we vote on it, then we reach out to the architect? Because I don't see, if the public is not for it, spending possibly tens of thousands of dollars on something that we're not going to vote for. Is that a possibility, even though we voted for it?
Yeah, we can reverse it. I do want to just point out timing. So we were very intentional in that we are trying very hard, because we understand it's very confusing. We use the term vote in many different areas of the school district. So we go to the public to vote on a referendum. We also go to the public to vote if we need to make changes, large changes to our annual budget. So we were very careful about not bringing up any of this until after we had passed the budget, so that this way then there'd be no confusion. The choosing of January 26 was a very intentional choosing because it enabled us to stay away from the 27-28 budget cycle, which will begin in February of 27 and will run through the end of April. So we would then make the same statement. We don't want to confuse those words of vote, and if so we would pull out, we wouldn't do any work on referendum from February of 27 to April of '27, and then we'd come back in May of '27 and have this conversation again. That would put us either at a June or a September referendum. And the concern is just delay because of things breaking. But if that is more what the board feels comfortable with, we're not opposed to doing that. We just are saying that there's a delay and it just delays everything.
I guess my question is, can we find out what the estimate would be from the architect? Because some parents may want a few things, not everything, and why have them do the work if that's not what the community wants? So I'm just more about being fiscally responsible with, and we could put it towards something else.
Either one.
Yeah, no, so exactly what Katine just said is just if you wanted to just, if you're not ready to make a decision in tonight or in July, you could postpone it a little bit and we could continue talking about it, but that would push the vote till the September or later of 2027, that's all.
So it does impact, I'm just asking, the architect is saying they need to start work now. That's what we wrote on this
To
evening.
make the January deadline.
If we're making the January deadline. If we're not making the January deadline, then there's no rush. So we're trying to weigh how fast is everything going to break, which I don't have a crystal ball for, against trying to keep the budget process separate from the referendum process in order not to be confusing, to the fact that there are only certain dates that we can do this on. So we're balancing all of those pieces, and we're looking for your comfort level as we move forward.
Can I ask, is the reason, so first of all, how long is the survey intended to run if it's launched tomorrow?
It's going to run for 30 days.
Is that, is that like, where was that determined? Is it possible that it could run for a little bit shorter? Today in the information technology world, people, they see it. If you tell them the deadline, that's kind of right before when everybody answers it, right? So what if we ran it for, say, 2 weeks? And then, I realize we might have to have a special board meeting thrown in there, but is the reason because we wouldn't then be able to approve the architect till July 21st? But if you ran a survey for 2 weeks and somehow could approve it, I feel like there might be another window where we could gather the information and still, and have what we need to feel comfortable with the expenditure and potentially still make the timeline.
Yes, definitely.
I also think that, in the subcommittee meeting, Finance and Facilities, we kind of determined that the number that we would go out, if at all, for a referendum was so small that we might want to combine them. So delaying it 2 months wouldn't be a big deal in that.
Right, the delay is just exactly, you're just up against time and the parts and when things go. So, there's risk on it, whichever way you go with it, you're correct.
But I'd also like to point out and the public especially, if we don't pass this budget or this referendum, we lose a 40% discount on the cost of all of these repairs. So it's imperative that we pass because we're throwing $15 million in the garbage if we don't pass this. Because we're going to have to make $35 million of repairs over the next few years, regardless.
Katine, or anyone, what did we approve for the architects at the last meeting?
It is $40,000 for them to package everything.
Okay.
But again, it's $40,000 that most of the work isn't occurring until after the 21st, because the biggest piece of what they're doing is getting all that paperwork together to send down to Trenton. So nothing's necessarily happening right this minute because there's nothing until they know scope, which you haven't determined yet, they don't know what they're sending. But most of the buckets are already filled.
I think a survey is a great idea. I think it's important for the public to weigh in on these things. There are a lot of options here. One thing I would suggest as far as the outline and the format of the survey is I personally would like a little more description in what each of these projects, in the rationale for the projects. A lot of them just say, well, they're old. Okay, they're old, but is there a reason we're replacing things other than just age? I mean, sometimes things last a long time. So it would, in my opinion, might be a good idea to add a little bit more description.
We noted a lot of the changes that you wanted. We did add a lot of the changes. If we didn't go far enough, then that's something we could look into.
I mean, if it were up to me, I'd say go ahead with it now. I think even if the referendum doesn't pass, at least we have an architectural view as to what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. But yeah, I agree with a lot of things that have been said. What John said, if we don't pass this, we're throwing away $15 million. That's how the last referendum, I think, passed, where we had very strong support from the community. And I mean, even the Tea Party supported the last one, because anyone can see, look, if I can spend, $1 and we're paying 58 cents on the dollar and someone else is paying 42 cents, you can't just can't afford to throw away that money. So I think it's important that we go through with that. And as far as things like the Lazar Auditorium, maybe that might be something for a second question years down the road. That's one of those nice to have, but not necessarily essential. But the thing that needs to be done, I think we need to go forward with it.
Any other comments?
Okay, I think I'm walking away with, I'm keeping the survey open for 2 weeks. Are we scheduling another board meeting?
I think, one motion could be it's open for 2 weeks, or however long, actually, and we pass it now. I guess, there's two options, right? We pass it now to approve the architect, and it doesn't really matter how long the survey's open, or if our determination of the architect depends on the survey, then we need another board meeting. So that's, I guess, what we need to determine. Does the board, right, feel that we need to?
The survey and I think the architect question are two different ones. We approved the architect to work on the schematics. The survey is to find out what we're going to include on the referendum when we do go to referendum.
And we'll determine what he submits to Trenton.
I'm in favor of moving forward now. I think it's a win-win at this point.
I'm in favor of moving forward too.
Me too.
When you say move forward, do you mean without a survey or
With the survey.
with the survey?
Yeah, just stand back here. Yeah, so we should move forward with the architect plans because there's a lot of equipment that's very old, 60 years old. There's going to be some subset of that comes out of the survey that we'll need to move forward to the referendum. And the survey will just help us understand what that subset of things are. But if we keep moving forward now, as you said, it was 40,000. It's not outlandish amount of money for this level of project. And I think it will keep us moving forward on a good time schedule for January. If we need to make changes at whatever next board meeting that we have, we can certainly do that. And as the survey results come in, we will certainly make changes to what is put on to the referendum or what we approve for the referendum.
Team, before the decision is made here, I think it's important to understand what the budget referendum would be, and do we want to combine them into one day of voting? And if we do, why spend $40,000 on an architect, like Christine said, when we could just delay that and maybe, not have to go back to an architect a second time?
You're going to have to do that either way. No matter what date we go, we need them to, once scope has been determined, meaning what projects are we doing, we need them to do the submission And that's part of what we're having them do, is put all those buckets together that make up the scope and then submit everything. That would happen whether we pick January, whether we pick April, whether we pick September, it doesn't matter.
So I'd like to move forward, I'd like to make a motion to move forward with the survey, as well as having the architects begin to work on the project.
I'll
Second.
And the project is on the 35 million?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Kateen.
Roll, you're doing roll call?
Was there a second?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a motion to move forward with the surveys and with the architect to start to prepare for a 2027, January 26, 2027 referendum on the $35.6 million. Yes?
Yes.
Dr. Cordolino?
Yes.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Mrs. Fano?
Yes.
Dr. Modrak? Mr. Palma?
Yes.
Mr. Petrosino? Mrs. Smith?
Yes.
Mrs. Zuckerman?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to now process the survey to go out this week. If any board members would like to come talk to me and we'll make more tweakings. We basically just tweaked words over the last few weeks. This survey will stay open until into the early part of July so that we'll be able to compile all that information and get it to you quickly, so you'll have that for the 21st meeting.
Thank you. We are going to take the items on section R, the school calendar and the Board of Ed district goals, and move them to the July meeting. So we are now going to go to public participation. So if you'd like to come up and speak, you have 5 minutes to come up and talk per person. Yeah. And please say your name and address when you come up to the mic. Thank you.
Is this on?
Just push the slide up.
Hello?
Sounded like it a little. Slide it right. It might be on.
Hello? Good. Hi, thank you for your time. My name is Melissa McCutcheon, and I live at 80 Waha Road. I have been a Tawako resident for over 30 years. I attended Lazar and MTHS and graduated from Loyola College. I have a Master of Divinity from Princeton Theological Seminary with a concentration in interreligious dialogue and ethics. I am a member of St. Pius X. Recently, Lazar Middle School hosted, as part of their Living Lessons program, a former member of the Israeli military, Shir Zuhar, who spoke about her experience on October 7th. To say that this was not an appropriate speaker for a public middle school is beyond an understatement. The Lemkin Institute for Genocide Prevention, Jewish Voice for Peace, Doctors Without Borders, the United Nations, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Save the Children, B'Tselem, UNICEF, Oxfam, Physicians for Human Rights Israel, the International Association of Genocide Scholars, as well as other international human rights organizations, say that Israel is currently committing a genocide in Gaza that began on October 7th. Despite the goals of the Living Lessons program being compassion and empathy, neither Ms. Zohar nor any of her hosts informed participants that, as a result of the events of October 7th, Israel has killed, disabled, and starved hundreds of thousands of people in Palestine. Since the genocide began on October 7th, we have the names and ages of over 20,000 Palestinian children killed by Israel. 17,000 of those children were aged 12 or younger. They were killed before they could ever even attend their local middle school. But since October 7th, Israel has destroyed all of Gaza's schools, over 2,000 of them, and left 600,000 Palestinian students without access to a classroom. Since October 7th, UNICEF says upwards of 4,000 Palestinian children have had one or more limbs amputated. They are the largest cohort of child amputees in modern history, according to the United Nations. How dare Ms. Zohar speak to children about October 7th when since that day, Israel has killed, on average, one Palestinian child every hour for the past 2.5 years. Beginning this March, Israel is killing children in Lebanon at nearly this rate. It is totally antithetical to the humanitarian goals of the Living Lessons program to overlook or normalize these atrocities, or to omit a historical context of decades of ethnic massacres, displacement, occupation, and apartheid. I do not want my tax money spent on bombs to kill children or on any school that would excuse it.
Sorry. My name is Colleen Lenge. I'm at 28 Two Bridges Road over in Tuaco. I'm speaking on behalf of a group of 23 or so parents from Cedar Hill who have incoming kindergarten children, a few who are here with me tonight. In regards to section L3, lines 19 and 20, we would just like a little bit of clarification. We would like to, I lost my spot, sorry. We would like to know if those two teachers would each have their own individual classrooms in addition to the current kindergarten teacher, creating 3 sections.
Yes, there'll be 3 sections at Cedar Hill.
Okay.
Kindergarten.
All right, well, on behalf of my fellow parents, we would like to thank you. Right. Thank you very much for acknowledging our concerns about the large classroom size and for taking our children's education into consideration and giving them a good step forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Bayan Jamal Ahmed. I am a Palestinian American who was privileged enough to matriculate through Montville Township High School, the public schooling system. I'm here today to be an honest and revealing voice in a sea of white supremacy, racism, and Zionism, an ideology that has displaced and dehumanized my family and my people, and continues to do so to this day. For 976 days, the Palestinian people of Gaza and the West Bank have been living through a genocide that has been internationally recognized by the International Association of Genocide Scholars, the United Nations, Amnesty International, the Lemkin Institute for Genocide Prevention, and Dr. Raz Segal, a leading scholar of Holocaust and genocide studies here in New Jersey at Stockton University. The reality is this: a genocide of the Palestinian people is being carried out by the occupying powers of the Israeli government, which is obligated under international law to end its occupation of Palestine and dismantle its apartheid system. The apartheid state is only able to violate international law and commit these war crimes because our United States government supports it unequivocally, sending $4 billion a year to the Zionist state while we struggle to feed, house, educate, and provide health care for people right here at home. After hearing what the administration had done by welcoming a person from the illegal settler colonial state of Israel to speak, and without contention, I was shocked and appalled to see approval of genocide, but I was not surprised. I found it deceptive and biased to invite someone without any acknowledgement of the ongoing genocide, the criminalization of Palestinians, and the persecution of those who advocate for Palestine. Our impressionable youth were forced to hear one side of the story without representation for those who have been dehumanized, who carry decades of evidence and displacement, and who live the daily impacts of settler colonialism. The community is here today to demand a right to this egregious wrong. We demand a statement to be sent to the community regarding the speaker at Living Lessons, a statement that addresses how this decision has impacted not just the Palestinian constituents, but the constituents as a whole. The Palestinian spirit of resilience and strength after 78 years of occupation, apartheid, oppression, and violence is something that should have been highlighted to our youth. Being Palestinian in this country is something that none of you could even begin to imagine. But I am nothing without my people, and my people inspire me in this very moment. I hope that the administration does something to correct this wrong and does it very, very soon.
Hi, is it on? Okay. Hi, my name is Joe Huber. I live in Pine Brook for over 30 years. I've been to Israel over 60 times. And I just want to start by saying that the comments of the two speakers who've addressed this topic so far in pure political terms is the exact reason why we have and need living lessons. Diversity is a wonderful thing. So diversity is a wonderful thing, but we should talk about diversity in context. In this case, the context is the mission of the Living Lessons program. Living Lessons is not about debating or presenting an opposite point of view. Doing that, especially in a political context, is the last thing Living Lessons is about, because doing so would turn it into a political forum and a platform for debating complex political conflicts. Having said that, there actually was great diversity in the Living Lessons program, which I attended. There were diversified presentations all day given within the boundaries of the program's purpose, i.e. survival, human strength, resilience, inspiration, and friendship. Diversification doesn't mean that every presentation that day required a rejoinder, or as some have put it, the other side. To the contrary, Living Lessons' purpose and its strength for the students' growth and education lies in the authenticity of individual stories. I attended the young woman's presentation, and I'd like to reiterate, or iterate, because it hasn't been said yet, the following. By the way, as an aside, if you're a young Israeli woman in your young 20s, odds are you have served in the Israeli army in times of war or peace. That's just the way it is in that country. Shir Zohar went out of her way not to be political in recounting her story. She never uttered the word or the name of the organization that attacked her. Never said the word during the whole presentation. She never referred to the religion or ethnicity of the perpetrators. Not once. The only word she used to describe what happened to her and hundreds of other young people that day is terrorists, because that's what they were. Again, she went out of her way to keep politics out of her recounting of what happened to her. She just told her story. And boy, did it meet the criteria of Living Lessons. This girl talked about her survival, human strength that got her through it, her resilience, inspiration, and friendship. As for the complaint that the other side did not have a chance to tell their story, I would say that because she kept politics out of her presentation 100% of the time, what is the other side? There was just that young girl's personal story. Also, my understanding is that those who have spoken out against Shir Zohar's presentation felt that it was bad timing, but I've yet to hear what would be considered good timing for telling such a story. The complaint about bad timing is subjective and can be used to silence almost any difficult or uncomfortable story. Furthermore, a personal trauma narrative does not need to be matched, in quotes, with an opposing viewpoint in order to be valid or educational. Shir's testimony of her experience should be understood as a human experience, not a partisan statement, not a political statement. Totally irrelevant. I would like to end by saying that I hope the school continues to be open to future speakers with different backgrounds if their stories fit the stated educational mission of Living Lessons. Inclusion should be thoughtful and mission-based, not reactive or forced by political pressure. I hope the school and the Board of Education will defend the integrity of the Living Lessons program and keep it focused on lived experiences, not ideological balance. Thank you.
As I introduced myself last time, Judy Gotthelf, happy retiree. I am here to speak to you tonight about Living Lessons, a program I created in 2005 that has become a signature program in our district, earned national recognition, and touched the lives of thousands of Montville students. Through firsthand testimony, students learn lessons in empathy, resilience, courage, and humanity that cannot be found in a textbook. For more than 20 years, students in our district have heard from individuals whose lives have been shaped by extraordinary experiences. World War II veterans, refugees, people who have overcome tremendous adversity, and others whose stories offer powerful lessons about the human experience. The purpose of Living Lessons has always been clear. It is not a political program. It is not a forum for debate. It is not intended to promote any ideology or agenda. Its purpose is to help students better understand courage, resilience, compassion, responsibility, friendship, and the consequences of hatred and intolerance. It is about helping young people learn from the lived experiences of others. Recently, concerns were raised about one of this year's speakers, a survivor of the Nova Music Festival attack, Shir Zohar. Before extending an invitation, I and my two co-chairs carefully evaluated whether the presentation aligned with the educational mission of Living Lessons. We wanted to ensure that it would focus solely on her firsthand experience and would not become political in nature. Based on that review, we were satisfied that there would be no discussion of politics, competing narratives, or advocacy of any kind. That is exactly what occurred. This young woman spoke about fear. She spoke about survival. And she spoke about friendship. Last week, while subbing at Lazar Middle School, I asked several of my 8th grade students for feedback on this year's program. They shared thoughtful reflections about the lessons they learned and the speakers who impacted them the most. One student spoke about Shear's presentation and explained that what stayed with her was not a conflict taking place thousands of miles away. Instead, she was moved by the loyalty and care that she and her friend showed one another during an unimaginable situation. Hearing that story made her reflect on her own friendships and ask herself whether she demonstrated that same loyalty to the people she cared about. When I heard that response, I thought, a student listened to someone's story and found a lesson she could apply to her own life. That is education. That is empathy. That is growth. And that is living lessons. I am aware that some might have drawn conclusions about why this young woman was invited to participate in our program. I would respectfully ask that the presentation be evaluated on its own merits and in light of the educational mission of Living Lessons. For more than 20 years, Living Lessons has been guided by one principle: providing students with meaningful opportunities to learn from the lived experiences of others. This young woman was not invited because of her nationality or because of assumptions about my personal beliefs. She was invited because she had a powerful personal story that aligned with the mission of the program. For more than 2 decades, Living Lessons
Sorry, you're
has...
going to have to start to wrap it up.
I
You're at the
am.
5-minute mark.
For more than 2 decades, Living Lessons has asked students to do something increasingly rare: to listen before judging, to learn before assuming, and to recognize the humanity in another person's experience, even when that experience is different from their own. I remain proud of what this program has accomplished and grateful for the support it has received over the years. If our goal as educators is to help students become thoughtful, compassionate, and engaged citizens, then Living Lessons has fulfilled the mission for all this time. Thank you.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Good evening. I live at 8 Oral Court, and my name is Bodie Uden, and I am a student at Lazar Middle School. I am honored to speak about the Living Lessons program and the incredible impact it has had on me. I've been fortunate enough to experience Living Lessons twice during my time at Lazar. Each time, I left with a new perspective and a deeper understanding of the world around me. What makes this program so special is that it allows students to learn directly from people who have lived through extraordinary experiences. Their stories are real, powerful, and unforgettable. This year, 2 speakers had a particularly strong impact on me. One was Daryl Davis, who spent years building relationships with members of the Ku Klux Klan and helping many of them leave the organization. His story taught me the importance of understanding others, even when their beliefs are very different from our own. And that meaningful change can happen through patience, respect, and conversation, rather than anger and division. Another speaker who deeply affected me was Melissa Anastasia, whose life changed forever because of drunk driving. She is now paralyzed from the neck down, yet she shared her story with courage and honesty. Listening to her made me realize how one decision can have life-altering consequences. Even more importantly, her resilience and determination inspired me. Despite facing challenges that most of us can hardly imagine, she continues to live her life with strength and purpose. Living Lessons is one of the most meaningful programs at Lazar Middle School. It gives students the chance to hear stories that cannot be found in a textbook. It helps us develop empathy, understanding, and a greater appreciation for the challenges others face. These lessons stay with us long after the presentations are over. That is why I would be disappointed if future students did not have the opportunity to experience this amazing program and learn from these powerful stories, which reach far beyond the walls of our school. I would like to recognize the people who have made all of this possible. Mrs. Gothelf brought Living Lessons to Lazar and has worked tirelessly year after year to keep it going. I would also like to thank Mr. Lin and Ms. Barkey for the continued commitment and support of this program. As I conclude, I would like to make one final request to the members of the Board of Education. And to anyone who may question the value of this program, please do not make any changes that would diminish the impact of Living Lessons, and please never consider eliminating it. As students, we learn many important subjects in school, but Living Lessons teaches us something different. It teaches us about humanity. It teaches us about courage, consequences, resilience, empathy, and understanding. The lessons I learned from each speaker will stay with me far longer than many facts I memorized for a test. They have helped shape the way I think about other people and the choices I make in my own life. Programs like this are rare, and future generations of Lazar students deserve the same opportunity that I had. Please continue to support Living Lessons exactly as it is. These stories shared through the program change lives. Thank you.
Hello, is this still on? I was not planning on speaking tonight, so I don't have a full speech prepared. Thank you for everybody who did come up and speak about this. It's clearly a very important topic for everyone in Montville. But I did want to share, sorry, my name is Ruba Mustafa, by the way, just James Terrace in Tawako. I did want to share the letter that was sent out initially when we first heard about Ms. Sohar coming to Lazar Middle School, just to make sure that everybody is really clear on our intent for those who did feel a certain way about her presence at the school. So I'm just going to read some of it. I might skip over a few parts that feel redundant, but we are writing to you in good faith as engaged and concerned community members and parents regarding the recent decision to allow Shir Zohar, a citizen of a foreign nation who was at the Nova Music Festival on October 7th, to speak with 6th to 8th grade students in an official capacity at the Montville Township School District's Living Lessons program hosted at Lazar Middle School on May 14th, 2026. We want to begin by emphasizing that our concerns are not regarding the Living Lessons program as a whole, but more specifically concerning the choice of bringing Shir Zohar individually and in isolation. We strongly believe that schools have a responsibility to present complex geopolitical and humanitarian issues in a balanced, age-appropriate, and educationally responsible manner. When students are exposed to one perspective on an issue as deeply contested and emotionally charged as the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it is essential that they also be given the opportunity to hear and learn about the Palestinian perspective in order to foster critical thinking, empathy, and fairness. We also question whether this topic was in the best interest of the student population present and what context they may have already had, if any, on this topic. Our concern is not with exposing students to differing viewpoints, but rather with ensuring that the district maintains neutrality, age appropriateness, and educational balance. The Living Lessons program has made a huge impact on students over 2 decades and leaves them with feelings and memories of stories that last a lifetime. Many of these stories offer great lessons critical to understanding the world and how to become better global citizens. Knowing how impactful the program is, presenting only one narrative on such a highly contentious global and local issue risks alienating students and families within the community and may unintentionally communicate institutional endorsement of a singular political viewpoint. We're also concerned because programs such as these are funded directly or indirectly through public support, community donations, business sponsorships, other town schools PTO programs, and nonprofit, non-political organizations such as the Montville Education Foundation. When community-supported educational funding is used in connection with politically sensitive programming, there is an even greater responsibility to ensure that presentations are balanced, inclusive, and representative of multiple perspectives within the community at the same time to make the greatest impact for students. In addition, we believe serious consideration must be given to the emotional and psychological impact the discussion of violent conflict can have on students who are only 13 and 14 years old. According to students and families present, terms such as terrorist and rape were used during the presentation. The use of the word terrorist was also used in the description of Ms. Zohar's bio with an assumption of Palestinians carrying out the action. Regardless of context, these are highly sensitive and potentially distressing topics for middle school students. Parents should be informed in advance when presentations may involve graphic, traumatic, or emotionally charged subject matter so they can make informed decisions for their children. Schools should always be a safe space for students, and at this developmental age, we believe schools should prioritize students' emotional well-being and ensure that difficult global issues are discussed in ways that are, carefully moderated, balanced, and age-appropriate. Students leaving Ms. Zohar's presentation shared feeling alienated, ostracized, fearful of peer retaliation, and more. We respectfully request that the district consider the following action items during the remaining 2025-2026 school year to rectify the above concerns at Lazar Middle School. Provide equal opportunity during the remaining weeks of the 25-26 school year for qualified Palestinian, Palestinian American, or Palestinian peace activist speakers to present alternative perspectives by a mutually agreed upon decision. Clarify whether any public funds, donor contributions, business sponsorships, or nonprofit educational foundation funds were used to support the event. Issue a letter to Montville residents and other listed sponsors who may have donated to the Living Lessons program, and express any language or perspective shared by Ms. Zohar are personal opinions of the speaker and not those of the school district. Provide a recording of the presentation.
You're going to have to wrap it up.
Sure. And then moving forward to provide transparency regarding the purpose, content, educational objectives of the speaker presentations, develop clear district guidelines, and basically allow for us to coexist and share different viewpoints together. Our schools should be spaces where students learn to think critically and compassionately, not environments where one-sided narratives dominate discussions of complex global issues. Over the last few years, Montville Township District has long championed diversity and inclusivity, and we must always echo this in our school programs. That's basically it. And then I sent there's a little thank you note in there too. But we are not here. We very much,
I'm sorry, you're
everybody
gonna have to
appreciates
stop.
Living Lessons, but thank you.
Slide it up.
Better? Andrea Orr, 7 Breton Drive, Pine Brook, New Jersey. As some of you may or may not know, I've been very involved in the school district over the years and have had the pleasure of being president of the PTC at Lazar Middle School way back when. Living Lessons has always been something that the kids have looked forward to. I appreciate some of the comments that have been made, and I'm not here to argue the conflict between Israel and Palestine, but that is not what Living Lessons is for. And I would ask if anyone that is having an issue with the presentation, if they actually saw or heard the presentation. I did. It was one person's account of their experience. We have had Living Lessons for, as Judy Godhealth said, many years where we've had people from other areas of the world, Africa, wherever, refugees, talk about their experiences. We've never had anybody have an issue that there was another side to the story. It is purely a factual information of someone's experience. There was nothing political about this. There was no other side. She never mentioned anything that would even pertain to a political situation. It was her personal experience. So if there is a recording of the presentation, I would implore everyone that has an issue with it to try and find it and then see for yourself and make the decision if it was an unfair presentation. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing nothing else on the agenda, can I get a motion to adjourn? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
You want to, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't know we were ending any.
5 minutes.
Yep, I won't go over 5. Sherry Schwartz, 14 Aces Street, Montville, New Jersey. I just want to take the opportunity to let you know, if you haven't seen already, we are having Montville Pride on Saturday from 1 to 4 at the Township Library. And I ask that you come, support, show that as leaders of education that you, support our LGBTQ youth. So I have invitations here. Am I allowed to pass them out? Okay. And I also have others if people in the audience would like to hear them. I really hope you guys come and support Pride. We've done it now for several years. And I think as leaders, it's super important to show you being physically there. Representatives of the Township Committee will also be there. So it would be nice to show your face as well. Thank you.
We're closing public participation. Dr.
So I want to thank everybody for coming out and speaking and sharing their thoughts on this topic. I did meet with 4 representatives of the Families of Educational Excellence last week, and I did respond with a 2-page letter back to them. Just to quickly just summarize some of the thoughts that are going on, just the Heart of Living Lessons, the program, which has been successful for over 2 decades, is to provide students with powerful, firsthand account of human resilience, courage, and survival, often in the face of global conflict and personal adversity. The presentation was focused exclusively on themes of survival, compassion, resilience, and heroism of a man who saved the speaker's life. It was a personal testimony, intentionally not a discussion about the complex Israeli-Palestinian conflict or geopolitical issues. However, we do understand that balance and context are important to consider when dealing with sensitive topics, especially at the middle school age. We assure you that having these presenters and the use of these funds does not imply institutional endorsement of a singular political viewpoint. The district is committed to maintaining neutrality in all school-sponsored programs. Moving forward, the district is committed to enhancing our procedures regarding living lessons and other educational programs. We will develop clear guidelines for presentations involving sensitive topics. Furthermore, the district will continue to be committed to future educational discussions structured around critical inquiry and multiple viewpoints. Thank you very much.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
They just handed it to each other.